You've all heard the meme, okay, boomer, right? Everybody remembers that. Well, I have a new one that I would like to explore, which is the idea of okay, famous boomer.
Ooh.
Because there's this mentality amongst famous boomers where I think the joke is always like regular boomers have fetishized struggle. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps if you want to make it. Well, that's different when you're a rich boomer because you have the means of providing for your children. Did you guys see this story about, it's Guy Fieri. I will not pronounce it the way he pronounced it.
How does he pronounce it?
Fieri? Something like that,
And that's
right?
not even his biological
Guy
name.
Fieri.
Yeah. First of all, for all intents and purposes, I love diners, drive-ins, and dives. I think it's probably the last great bit of Americana you're ever going to see. Go watch original episodes of Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives if you want a great look, a snapshot of America and what we all used to be when we were connected as a species here in America. Guy Fieri says that his kids have to get 2 college degrees before they can collect on his inheritance. His youngest son is trying to make a different deal. So let's just go through it a little bit at a time. We'll get into the commentary. So it says, Guy Fieri has a $100 million contract with the Food Network, but that hasn't changed the celebrity chef's rule regarding his children's future inheritance. If they want this cheese, you've got to get 2 degrees. I don't know why he had to make it rhyme, but he did. Which is something that he got from Shaq, because he famously says that all his kids have to get multiple college degrees if they want to collect on their inheritance. He says he recently sat down with Business Insider to discuss his new flavors for Waterloo sparkling water, and everybody is taking me to the bank on this one. His eldest son, Hunter, is set to graduate with an MBA from the University of Miami in May, and his 26-year-old nephew, Jules, whom he helped raise since his sister died in 2011, recently graduated the law program at Loyola Marymount University. Poor Ryder is just finishing his freshman year at San Diego State University. The boys rib him all the time. They're like, we're done. You still got to go and finish college and go get your postgraduate. Well, I think most people are actually more worried about how they're going to pay for it when they're there. It's not about whether they're going to finish or not. It's about whether they're going to pay for it or not. He says that his son tried to negotiate his way out of their arrangement. He's like, Dad, come give me a break. How about if I get great grades the whole time? The chef said he was passing down lessons his father taught him. It's a thing that my dad said when I was a kid. When I die, I'm leaving you nothing except a funeral bill, he said. Look, I'm going to stop right there. I hate this.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I despise this idea that you're teaching your kids a lesson by offering them unnecessary hardship.
Insane.
There was this thing that came out from Fortune magazine recently that says that millennials are the first generation to be doing worse than their parents by like a significant amount. Like they're earning less money by the time they're in their 30s or their 40s than their parents were at that time, right? Hold please. Nobody's gonna dance except for Tate and me. Phil will not dance. That was the face you were making last night, Phil.
No, last night I was enjoying it. It was really funny.
So he makes this comment about how his kids went to private school and all of their friends were driving Lexuses and Range Rovers, but he was driving a 1990 pickup truck.
Which are
Again,
worth a fortune.
Why? What is that supposed to teach your kids?
Yeah, I mean, like
I hate it's a fetish. It's this weird
Yeah.
fetish that if you don't give unto your kids that they're going to learn a lesson, but you actually have to teach them lessons.
And I think like with celebrities specifically, they're so paranoid of because they've grown up with the Nepo baby being the worst possible person. And I think they're absolutely petrified of placing that on their children. And that's part of the reason they overcorrect so hard, among other things.
He says, my dad gave me awareness. My dad gave me the tools of life. It was very clear at a very young age I was going to go and make it on my own. See, the thing is, though, is just telling your kids you can't have anything isn't teaching them anything.
Correct.
Now, I give him credit. All his sons, if I remember correctly, all worked on his shows and got jobs that involved actually doing something. Whether they're going to go into business in that industry, I don't know. But teaching them work ethic is fine. But there is this weird obsession with the idea of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and making it on your own, despite the fact that they've literally created a world that has made it impossible for the younger generation to get ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, so I have an issue well, not an issue, but I don't think that that's accurate when you say boomers created a world, because it's not all the boomers, right? It's a very select few people, like people in government and people that are you know, heads of business and stuff like that. It's likely more accurate to say things like, you know, the elites created this kind of world. Because your average person
I guess when I think of it like, but the thing is that world has been created by the elites, and then those beliefs have been parroted now by those people. Like, do you ever see the
reason
memes?
The reason they're parroted is because it worked for them.
Do you ever see the memes, the pictures of like when the election was going on? It's like the two boomers in the hot tub holding up a glass of champagne. We're voting for Kamala Harris, and like the response is like, great, one more fuck you on your way out before you die.
Yeah.
Right?
Like for me, when I think boomers, I think of Woodstock. I think of a generation falling asleep at the wheel. So I don't think they created this world. I think they were just responsible for the decline, ushered over it. They
also talk, I'm also going to pull up this article here. So there's these other examples of these celebrities who talk about, I love this one. Let me see if I can, literally talks about spending the money before he dies.
That kind of stuff. Like, look, if you're a parent, the most important thing for you to do is take care of your family, take care of your children. The idea that a proper course of action, the idea that the way to instill work ethic into them is to make sure that they have nothing is wrong. I don't believe that that is an effective strategy at all. I think that if you're going to instill work ethic in them, that's something you do actively with them, not by saying, well, you better work because you're not getting anything, first of all. And second of all, the idea that, oh, you need to get these degrees so that way you can get money, that is absolutely stupid, right? Yeah. The idea that once you get these degrees that likely will be worthless because they're not going to be trade degrees. They're not going to be trade. He's not going to learn how to do a trade. He's not going to be a plumber. Not going to be a
business degree will work for him. Look, he can go work for BlackRock.
Maybe.
And then sell out the people even further.
But he didn't specify what degree it is, just 2 degrees. And what are you going to do if you have to get 2 degrees? Liberal, just bullshit stuff, right? It's going to be liberal arts kind of stuff. It's going to be lame stuff. It's going to be something in the humanities, which is the last thing that we need. The humanities are totally corrupted. So the idea that a liberal arts degree or just any random degree is going to be beneficial to this child is literally offloading the job of raising the child. If your child has not developed at least the foundation for a work ethic by the time they go to college, it doesn't matter that they get the 2 degrees or not. Right? They get the 2 degrees because they want to get the money. But once they get the money, they don't have the work ethic to do anything. They're going to be like, I got the money. What the hell do I need to go to work for? F you.
Yeah.
You know?
They have, the degrees would have no practical application. I saw somebody in the chat saying, like, nobody has a right to the money. It's not yours. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that family is the base level of these things, and taking care of your family matters.
Yes.
Now, for the most of us,
the parents have a responsibility. They don't have, the kids don't have a right, but the parents have a responsibility. And again, something that we miss talking about way too much is responsibility. There is responsibility that comes with every action and every liberty that you have. If you want to have kids, you want to have a family because you want to have that good time feeling, you want to, you like playing with the kids, and it fulfills the biological desire. Well, you have a responsibility to take care of that child.
Yeah. Well, I think this is downstream from the shift in the mindset of why people work hard. Because if you ask someone 60 years ago, 70 years ago, well, why do you work so hard? They say, well, to provide for my family. Yeah. You ask someone now, why do you work so hard? It's like,
so that I can own a timeshare in Florida.
Go, exactly. So it's like, this is all just downstream from the radical shift that Americans have had on money.
I think the idea is rooted in a good concept that kids need to learn hard work. They need to learn responsibility. I don't equate getting 2 degrees of dubious nature to hard work and responsibility. One of the things I talk about quite frequently on the show is there's been an ongoing psyop in Hollywood to show you the character where they talk about the first kid in their family to go to college, and they talk about college like it's this end all be all for everyone, as if that is going to solve them and pull them out of poverty. Bullshit. It's a debt trap for 90% of the people that end up in college, and for the rest of them, they do, whether it's on scholarship or because their family can afford to go to it, they may put those degrees to use. They may not, but that does not matter because without the debt hanging over them, they're free to move about industries and try different things. Whereas for the rest of them, they are stuck then paying down loans that they can't afford. And then somehow the government gets, the government is expected to pull you out of that. And even then we have shitty administrations that try to pay off student debt. I don't buy that either. Why does nobody hold the schools responsible? And why does nobody hold the parents responsible for helping kids understand that going to college and getting a degree does not equal the same thing as being responsible and making it for yourself? In fact, a great number, why is the trope always all the tech billionaires dropped out of college to go on and start their own tech company? They didn't need it in the first place. Now, for plenty of people, if you're going to go into business, right? We were talking about it the other day. I made the joke because we were looking into, we went to the, like the Utz or Oots, whatever, the chip company. We went to their factory, to their discount factory. And we were talking about it because Campbell's owns them. And then we were looking at all of the subsidiary companies that own them. And then who owns the shares of Campbell's? And it's BlackRock, it's Vanguard, it's State Street. So if those kids want to make money, yes, get a business degree and go and work for private equity. Sure. But that's not the same thing as saying that going to college is going to turn you into a responsible person. And I just find it funny because it's like the boomers who did make their money, but then spend their money and don't leave any to their kids. Fine. The kids aren't owed it. But it's like they've absolved themselves of any responsibility, and the celebrities have found a different way to do that and approach it in a different way. I just find it interesting. I do agree that you should not expect anything for free. I don't believe that expecting your parents to provide for you leads you down a good path. I'm not saying that at all. I did not come from a family that was wealthy. My dad worked for the Army Corps of Engineers, and my mom was a social worker. We did not have, I grew up in a middle-class suburb, in like the poor part of the middle-class suburb before all of the rich people moved in. So 3M, if you know what the company 3M is, they moved in downwind, to the next town over. So all of the people who were making good money there moved into the new developments there. I grew up around people with money, but did not necessarily have money. I get it, right? And plenty of those kids who were given everything by their parents were dicks and stupid. I get it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we've taken this idea that no, you're not owed anything, and we've just pushed it to such a far conclusion that it doesn't make sense anymore. And I've talked on IRL before. I said, look, this country has a nihilism problem with upcoming generations. And one of the things that they have to contend with now, on top of the fact that wages have stagnated and all of this other stuff is going on, is look, nobody can afford health insurance. All of these problems. You can ignore the qualms of the next generation at your own peril, but it's still going to be there. People believe that these kids are going to grow up in the crap shoot that we're in now, and they're going to believe in free markets. Nah, I don't believe that. And I don't think the next generation believes that. And one of the easiest ways to lose your kids is to offer them up to a lifetime of debt in college and dead-end jobs, and how much anger is going to come from them if you had the means of helping them out in some way. And you don't.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Also find it funny because Guy Fieri, I mean, I don't know his background, but I imagine his success didn't come through
college degrees. Yeah, right.
So
did he go to culinary school? I don't know. But even then, that's not going to be the majority of people who do that.
I assume he doesn't have an MBA from Miami. You didn't do it, so why should I do it?
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.